Here we are outside the Readiness Center for not one, but two units. Both the 263rd Army Air Missile Defense Command and the 2nd of the 263rd ADA are both housed here inside this facility. So we're going to go in and we're going to find a couple people to talk to and learn a little bit more about what goes on here.
So I've been associated with the 2nd 263rd for quite a few years, and I've seen it evolve over the years from where it was literally air defense artillery, and we actually had artillery that we fired for air defense, and then those systems have evolved over the years. We now fire missiles for our engagements, and we have a very, I guess, efficient, you would say, early warning system that we can push air picture and early warning all the way down to our fire units. And those fire units receive that early warning, and that's how we can do our air battle management all the way up through the echelons, and we're able to engage the air breathing threats within our area of operation. So it's like I said, it's a very efficient system, and our soldiers are very proficient at it. And we have another role up in NCR, National Capital Region, that we also are responsible for, that falls under our Homeland Security mission. But then over the last couple of years, we've gotten involved in the European Deterrent Initiative, and it's essentially we are filling a gap that the active component, since they a few years ago got away from the short-range air defense systems and the National Guard took over all those systems, they are trying to bring that back now to the air defense community for short-range air defense. But in the meantime, we're responsible for filling that gap and filling that role. So we have units that are rotating to Europe in support of active duty units. So we basically go over for a one-year mission and support them and provide them short-range air defense. This community is very supportive of the 263rd. I don't think they fully comprehend that worldwide there are only 4 Army Air Missile Defense Commands in the world, and one of those happens to be here. We are the only reserve component that is an Army Air Missile Defense Command. The others, 2 of them are located Oconus, and then there's one at Fort Bliss, Texas. But we are the 4th one here, and it's a very important role. This Army Air Missile Defense Command came to be really in response to the 9/11 attack that happened within just a few short months after that. They created the 263rd AAMDC, and that's when the Homeland Security role started for us up in the National Capital Region. And again, we've been working on that mission for a number of years, and improving the systems and improving our ability to protect and defend the National Capital Region. But this community has been very supportive, is still very supportive of the 263rd AAMDC.
So the day-to-day here for me on a normal weekend as the Battalion Master Gunner is supervising training. So with that, we have a number of tasks that the guys must complete to a certain standard in order to be proficient with the weapon system. So the weapon system, our primary weapon system is the Avenger weapon system, which is linked to a radar, providing air tracks in any type of environment. So in that weapon system, it's a short-range air defense weapon system that's a shoot-on-the-move, fire-and-forget weapon system. So what that means, it's a heat-seeking missile that once the operator has acquired a target and acquired that heat source, once they fire through their sequence, they can switch to another target immediately, and that missile will track down that aircraft. Well, it's very unique. As Chief Case stated, we're the only reserve component AAMDC, Air and Missile Defense Command. And with that, being a reserve component, we have people that come from all different walks of life, and they work different types of civilian jobs and so forth. And I think as a reserve component, the adaptability to these guys to be able to adjust to any situation, to be able to pack up and leave their families and normal jobs to go conduct the types of missions that we conduct, it's a really big deal in my opinion.
Okay. All right, so we all finished up here. We learned a little bit about what goes on with these units. a big part of the Anderson community up here. Very cool mission set that these folks have, and we're going to move on and find the next unit and see what else we can learn.
As we continue to travel across the state, our next stop is the 2nd of the 263rd Charlie Battery, and we're going to go check it out and see what they have to offer.
So my name is Sergeant First Class William Vickery. I'm here at Charlie Battery, 2nd of the 263rd. I'm the readiness NCO for this facility as well as the platoon sergeant. We are just returning back from our overseas trip from Poland, Germany, Romania, Estonia, Lithuania in the European Defense or Deterrence Initiative. Worked a lot with overseas forces over there. Coming back, reintegrating back into the unit here in Clemson, South Carolina. Great place to be. They are very supportive of what we do. It's busy, especially during football games and everything, but they're great with working with as far as the police, EMS. We do have the opportunity to work with them. Granted, it hasn't been as much as we have in the past simply because of the op tempo that we've had as of late. As far as community support goes from the local populace, the guys are great. You can't walk out with somebody wanting to buy your lunch, shake your hand, say thank you, and it's always very pleasant anytime that you go out. It's a great place to be, and everyone here really enjoys it. So it's a great variety. Clemson University is right down the road, so it's a good spot to be. The mission at Charlie Battery, just with any other short-range air defense battery, we have the Avenger weapon system as well as the Sentinel radar. Those work in conjunction to provide short-range air defense for whatever the commander deems is necessary. I had mentioned earlier that we had overseas mission in Europe, European Deterrence Initiative, provides short-range air defense for ABCTs, provides short-range air defense for perhaps a CRAM mission, and integrating into several things like that. The way that the Guard a lot of the times is sold is the 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year type thing, and that's not really not what we're seeing as much anymore, just because of, like I mentioned before, we have an incredibly high op tempo. We're constantly moving. There's always a mission somewhere, either at stateside, be it overseas. We're getting ready to go to Poland. Constant annual trainings, constant movement. So we had the opportunity last year to go over to Germany and see a lot of the European countries that a lot of people would never get the opportunity to go see. I loved it, and I thought it was a great opportunity. But if someone likes that kind of thing, it's an opportunity to go do stuff like that. We're constantly on the move and always moving. If you want to stay busy, this is a good place to be. Air defense community's blown up out of demand in the past couple of years from what it used to be. So it's a great MOS to be in. I thoroughly enjoy being an air defender, and I think a lot of the guys here do too. It's a transition from being more stationary as air defense evolves, not necessarily evolves, goes back to where its roots were and our original call, and we're moving a lot. We have a very high op tempo as of right now.
So we learned a lot of information about the 2nd of the 263rd Charlie Battery, and it was really cool to learn how they go and they travel to all different kinds of places. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to get out and experience things that you probably would never get to experience, maybe this is the Readiness Center for you. But now that we've checked out this Readiness Center, we're going to head on to the next.
All right, here we are at the 2nd 263rd Alpha Battery in Seneca, South Carolina. Super old, super historic Readiness Center up here, and we're going to walk inside and see who we can find to talk to.
So we're Alpha Battery, 2nd 263rd. We're in the 2nd Battalion, obviously. This building, this facility was built in the 50s. The original plans for it went into effect in the 40s, so we've been here. I think from what I understand, we're the oldest armory in the state. A lot of history here, very tied into the city of Seneca. We average about 60 personnel here on a drill weekend. We're air defense artillery. So we have the Avenger weapon systems. We operate in concert with the 14 Golfs. They run a radar system. And we really don't have many. We used to have a lot of support MOSs here, but we don't have as many now. Currently ramping up to go to Poland for Defender 2020. So we stay real busy. We just got back from a joint mobilization about a year ago, where we went to, half our battalion went to DC, the NCR rotation, and the other half went to what's called EDI, the European Deterrent Initiative. So we just got back from that not long ago, so we're about to go back to Europe again in May, and we're going to run an exercise, a multinational Defender 2020 exercise. So that's why you see this stuff sitting around the armory floor. We're getting ready for that, getting ready to go. See if we can go over there and do, it's called a wet gap crossing. So we're going to defend, we'll be the air defense for that initiative while they do that, while they cross a big body of water. So we're excited about that. It's a short snapshot. kind of who we are and where we're at. So again, we've been very active in this unit. Probably really our first real mobilization was in 2005 timeframe. It was a response to 9/11. So we were one of the first rotations. Active duty actually initially went, and if you look up some pictures of the NCR, you'll see our weapon system sitting out right on the mall, right near the National Monument. And so then we went up, and we were one of the first rotations to take their place. It was huge. I mean, it's a response to 9/11, and a lot of those sites have been moved a lot, but they're still up there. So we're still up there providing active air defense to our nation's senior leaders. So it's huge. It really is. And so we do take a lot of pride in that. We've actually started to branch out a good bit, and ADA is one of the most deployed organizations DoD-wide. So we do a lot. We move a lot. We're going a lot. But we've started to get involved in Europe a little bit. I was telling you a little bit about EDI, the European Deterrent Initiative. We're involved in that, so we're about to go do an exercise with that in May. I covered that a little bit ago. But that's a little bit about who we are and where we've been.
So there you go. Super awesome to talk to these folks. As most people may know or may not know, you know, the ADA community is one of the, or is the oldest community in the South Carolina National Guard, dating from way back when. Artillery has kind of always been our thing. Super awesome to make it all the way up here to Seneca, kind of the far side of the state from where we started from. And so cut out from here, and we're going to move to the next one and see what else we can find out about South Carolina National Guard.